Okay, so in this video we will dive deep into the most important functions of the TD-27 drum module. Now, if what you are curious about is the sound editing and how to get the best sound out of it, just so you know, I have dedicated a video just on that and you can check it out in the description. So here we will pursue the quest of getting the best possible sound, but this time through importing samples and understanding how we can make them sound good within the drum module. Then we will detail the 4 possible ways to record yourself, including multi-track recording. I will show you how to improve your timing using the coaching function, and I will give you a bonus tip for the ones that would play live or on studio. Okay, so with the TD-27 you can import your favorite drum sample, and the most important thing to know is that you can mix them with internal sound to create something brand new using the internal dynamic range. And here is how to do it. So first off, you will need a SD card and you will need to format it within your drum module on System SD card format. Then you can reach your favorite drum library. I have Steven Slate drums, but you can use whatever you want. And if you have, for example, a particular snare sound that you like, you can export it, put it in the import file of the SD card, put the SD card in the drum module, import the sample on the user sample menu, and now you can use the sound in your drum module. Okay, so first scenario, you have imported a clap. So you can reach it with the instrument knob going to user sample, select it, and you're ready to go. Okay, so second scenario. If you want to blend the clap with an internal snare sound, select the snare sound and you can reach the imported clap on the sub-instrument. Setting number 1, mix. So with this setting, you will trigger the snare sound and the clap sound at the same time from the ghost note all the way through the loudest hits, which might be annoying. Setting number 2, the fade number 1. So the clap will not be triggered until this threshold. So between 35 and 50 is a good place to start because the ghost note will not trigger the clap sound. It will be triggered after that, so it will sound more natural. So third scenario. Now if you imported a snare sample, you will have the following issue. You can only import one layer of the drum that you want to use, so you will have the same sound whether you play soft or loud. So there is a great chance that it's gonna sound like a machine gun and not be usable. The good news is that you have a solution for that. Fortunately, you can take advantage of the advanced function of the drum module to blend the imported sound with internal sound and take advantage of the wide dynamic range of the drum module. And that's how you do it. So, you select a snare sound that would be neutral and close to the sample that you're using, go to the sub-instrument menu, select the sample, and now choose the best blend option. So you can choose this one, so mix. As we already saw, the sample will blend from the start to the end with the internal sound. Fade number 1, the second sound will be triggered from this velocity, and you have also fade number 2. It means that the ghost note will still be produced by the internal snare, and it will progressively start to blend with the sample to make the transition between the two sounds more natural. So I think it's a really interesting feature, and let's hear how it sounds. As you can hear, huge difference, and you can do it on the whole drum set. So I really encourage you to try that out. Okay, so that's it for the sample management. Now, second part of this video, you have very interesting function to record yourself. From a quick instant recording of what you're doing to a multi-track recording session if you want to properly mix your drums. And the good news is, both ways are extremely easy to do. Okay, so let's start with the quickest way to record yourself. So, if you want to quickly produce a drum cover on social medias or just a drum performance, or to check out your drumming, which you should do, or if you want to quickly record some ideas before you forget them, you just have to hit record, choose your recording option with music or just the drums, play, save it to the SD card, and now you can play it back or you can even export it. Okay, so now for a better quality stereo track that you can mix in your DAW, you can use the two master outputs, plug it to an external audio interface, and hit record on your DAW. Okay, so now the third option, if you want to properly mix your drums with multitrack without using anything else than a USB cable, no audio interface, this is how to do it. Okay, so download and install the drivers from the Roland website so your computer can communicate with the drum module. Now go to the system, USB audio, switch to vendor. I don't really know why, you just have to do it once and for all, and then restart. Connect the drum module to the computer with the USB cable. Open your DAW, select the drum module, open 14 stereo track. Now this is the part that might be confusing for some of you guys if you tried it by yourself. The routing is a bit special, so just follow me here, it will make sense afterwards. So routing is making sure that when you hit the snare sound is going to the snare track. So, system output, here you can route each sound to different output. It can be to the headphones, to the master and to the direct out. What I recommend you to do for a studio setup is to have the reverb and the overhead on dedicated tracks and a dedicated track for each drums. So to do this, go to Pad Master, redirect all channels to phones, Pad Direction, disconnect all pad direction, Other Master, set the overhead to phones and the room to master, and on the Other Direct menu, set the overhead to Direct 1 and 2 and disconnect the room. This way, you can have separated tracks for each ambience, so one stereo track for the overhead and one stereo track for the room. Then, if you want to have the room and the overhead into the same track, you have to route them both to the master. And you might want to watch the whole explanation again. Okay, now you have a studio session ready to record, and let me show you how powerful this is. The good news is that once you set up everything, then it becomes just plug and play. You just have to plug your computer and everything is already set up. Okay, so fourth and last possibility, of course you can record yourself with the MIDI function. So just plug the MIDI cable, open a MIDI track, open your drum library and you're ready to go. Okay, now third part of this video about the practice function, so song, click and coach. To me they are quite interesting because those functions can make you work while having a feedback on what you do. So, song. So you have a few internal drumless tracks to play with and you can import your favorite song via SD card. The reason why it could be interesting is that you have the possibility to slow it down to practice it and even record yourself along with the song. So that's a nice feature to have. Okay, then the click function is just a click function. So you can change the subdivision, of course, but they could have improved it with several features such as being able to program a tempo increase or a bar count, stuff like that. But good news is, if you have an app that is doing that, you can connect your phone with the Bluetooth connectivity and use your app. Now the coaching function. So it's an interesting way to check out your timing and to warm up. The time check will allow you to work on your accuracy, showing you whether you're behind the beat or in front of the beat. It's very helpful, so I really recommend you to use it. Let's try it. Okay, now the quiet count is also great to build your inner clock. Basically, you can define for how long the click will disappear before going back. So it's an extremely powerful tool. Now, warm up. So this is an interesting new function. So you can program it to 15 minutes, for example, and you will have 3 exercises of 5 minutes in which you will have to choose what you're going to play. So the sticking is up to you. During the first step, the drum audio will make you work on different subdivisions back and forth. On the second step, it will make you work on speed with a progressive acceleration and deceleration, and the last step will make you work on your timing using the time check. So I think that those are nice features, and as a teacher, I hope that they will do more of that in the future, so your eDrum can become a station where you can learn and practice with functions that can give you a feedback on what you do. And just out of curiosity, let me know what kind of function would you like to have on your eDrums. As for myself, I wish that they will upgrade the click, as I said, and also the time check to allow us to check out the snare, hat and kick at the same time, because here you can just do 2 of them, and in different subdivisions, so fourths, 8 notes, 16th notes, triplets. That would be great. Okay, so as I said before ending this video, a quick bonus tip, which is managing the kit for your practice session, whether it's for studio or live purpose. So a great option that you have is to be able to create setlist. And I think you should use it for 3 reasons. First, if you are inspired, you don't want to spend 10 minutes to find the right kit. So choose your best kits and organize them by preference, genre, etc. Also, if you're on stage and you need to adapt the preset to the song, you can create a setlist so you can switch very quickly with just one button. And then, in this drum module, as I said in the previous video talking about the sound design, you don't have an ambience knob to adjust the amount of reverb. So what you can do is that you can create 3 kits of the same preset, one dry, one normal and one very roomy, so you can switch very quickly with just one button instead of going into the dedicated menus. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you had a great time with me. Let me know if it was helpful, and as usual, if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. By the way, if you want to have a killer preset for your TD-27, you can check out my website. Okay, so now you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It helped tremendously the channel. Share it to the world, and I will see you in the next video.